Hello everyone. Here it is, another Tuesday here in Colorado. We are having a very windy, blustery day, which means the dirt and the dust is blowing like crazy. We've had so much windy weather and it's so dry here that there's just no moisture in the soils, and so it's just blowing away. And we really catch it up here on the hill and there's nothing around us. So I've cleaned some of my window seals and around my doors numerous times and it doesn't do much good. So for today, I wanted to show you first the annual catalog that is will become live on May of 2022, and it's going to run through April of 2023. Those of you who are customers of mine should be receiving a copy of this in the mail. And those of you that come to my classes, I have catalogs here that I can give you a copy when you come to class. If you don't come to class, but would like a copy of a catalog, just send me an email at suaddicted@gmail.com and I'll gladly get one in the mail for you. I cannot show you the inside of the catalog as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm allowed to order items from the catalog a month early so that I can show some of my customers what's in the catalog and make some projects. So for today, we're going to do a little bit of a sneak peek from one, but first of all, let me show you the card first. That might help. So this is the card we're going to do. It's actually the book fold card, which I absolutely love. And it's kind of glued down here to give you like your book binding. And then we open it on the inside. And this one just says best wishes on the front. And then wishing you all the happiness you can imagine on the inside. So you could use this for several different types of occasions. So to start with, we're going to use a stamp set actually in the mini catalog that is live until the end of June. It's called Amazing Silhouettes, and it is transferring over to the new annual catalog, so it will be available for another year, which I'm very happy about because I love this stamp set. Out of the new catalog, we're featuring Sentiments from Happiness Abounds. I love this set, but I especially love the fonts and the way they've mixed the different fonts and the kind of scripty and then with the regular typewriter type font. Love this. We're using the Best Wishes and this one right here. For our sentiment on the front, I'm using this little die from the Floral Gallery. Fits just perfectly with the Best Wishes. And we are also using the bark embossing folder to do our vellum. So in your packet, you are going to be having a piece of cinnamon cider. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and we scored at 3 and 4 1/4. And this is a color that is retiring. I'm not even sure, it may already be sold out. Retiring items are only available as supplies last. I have quite a bit of this cardstock, and so I thought it was time to get it used up. You'll also have a piece of designer series paper in the cinnamon cider. This is going to be for our flap of our envelope. You will have a piece of pale papaya. This is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and this is what we're actually going to stamp on. And you will have a piece of Shimmery Vellum in the pale papaya, and this one measures 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. You'll have a piece of Very Vanilla for the inside. This is again 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and then you have a scrap that we'll be doing our sentiment on. You will have a let's see, what does this measure? 1 inch by 5 1/4 piece of pale papaya for the binding part of your card, and then you'll have a piece of designer series paper. I think this is called Hearts and Home Designer Series paper, and this measures 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4, and then you have a little tiny 1/4 inch strip by 5 1/4 that we're going to put on the inside of our card. So to get started, and then the only ink that we are using today is the cinnamon cider. And then for embellishment, we're going to be using these little bumblebee trinkets. I think these are already sold out, but I hadn't used them, and I just thought they were super cute and very nice for the card that we're doing. So that's what we'll be using for an embellishment. So to get started, we're going to start doing our stamping. So we will take the I don't know, I guess you call this the tree image from our stamp set. And we're going to ink it up. And we're just going to stamp it down on our pale papaya piece. Like so. And through the magic of video and TV, we'll have an image like this and we're going to cut it out. Now, I'll be honest with you. I did think about fussy cutting this. I can fussy cut, but I don't really like it. So I think what I'll do for class is these will probably be stamped and I will cut them out on my scan and cut just like I did this one. That's the direction I'm leaning right now. And then for our sentiment, we will take this piece right here. Again, we'll use the cinnamon cider. Since it's a photopolymer set, I'm bringing in my little Pierce mat to give me a little bit of cushion. And we will just stamp this down. And then we will take this die cut, or die, I guess. What you get after you cut it out is the die cut. And we will line this up. We will run this through our cut and emboss machine. And once again, through the magic of video, here is our sentiment for our card. Okay. With this piece of vellum, I have already embossed it. But what we'll do is we'll take this, we'll place it inside here, and we will run it through the Stampin' Cut machine, and you will end up with a piece that I hope you can see is very shimmery and has this really nice embossed feature to it. For the inside piece, we're going to be stamping on that, but what I like to do is I like to put this down first so that I have an idea of how to center my stamp. So we'll take some liquid glue and we will put on the old reader cheater glasses, and so I can see what I'm doing here. We're going to put a little bit of glue on here. And then we will lay this right along the edge. Now we are having a bit of a border, so we'll just kind of do it like so. Whoops, slid on me a little bit. There we go. And let me take, these little rags, I had somebody ask me what they are. Actually, they are just dried out baby wipes. And so when I'm done using one, if it's not too stained, I'll just dry it out. This happens to be a new one that I dried out because my others were all really very dirty. We'll take our piercing mat back and we will try and stamp our sentiment for the inside. Here, and I hope I don't get my head in the camera. If I do, please excuse me, but I got to get a little bit close to make sure that I'm getting this somewhat straight. Okay, not too bad. And and then there's only one other thing that we're going to do. I'm going to stamp a little bit of this tree on our envelope. Let me put a scrap paper under here so I don't totally mess up my pad. And we're going to take this. And again, I put this on the left-hand side and I just brought it down a little ways. Oh, okay. Don't need the pad on this because it is a red rubber stamp. And so we'll get a nice image from that. And there we are. The other thing for our envelope, I'll just put the glue on here real quick, like so it can be drying. We will just take our liquid glue, and I just run a very small bead across the top. And then I kind of open it up because I don't want to get glue on the rest of the envelope. just take a small bead. We've all done this many times in class. This is a good way to use up some of the paper that I have for the colors that are retiring. And then I just line this up with the top, put it down, and rub it, and then I'll let that dry. Okay, so we'll take our card base, and what we're going to do first is we're going to fold it. So we'll fold it. I'll fold the one in the middle at 4 1/4 first. Your card's going to be like this. This part is going to be glued down, so this is going to be folded the other direction. Okay, just like so. And then we will take glue, or you can use anything that you want. I kind of use this heavier adhesive because this is going to be kind of open, and we'll be flipping around a little bit, and then we'll just glue this down. Make sure it's all good and glued. We will take our inside piece. Get this, and we're going to glue that down on the inside. I'm hoping I'm staying in camera shot. I'm still playing around trying to find the best position for my phone to film. And then we'll put this in here. You do have a border, so kind of try to get the borders as even as you can. And that's taken care of. Now we're going to work on the front piece. So on the front, you're going to have your, looks like I put some ink on that one, but that's okay. We'll go lay it down that way. So first of all, you'll have this 1-inch piece of pale papaya. We're going to take that and cover it with our designer series paper. And again, you have a border. So we will try that and get it straight. Then we're going to take this, and it's going to go right here on the front of our card. So we will take this. And I'll lay it right there. Okay, now for our front, what I'm going to do is you know how it is with vellum, your adhesive a lot of time will show through. So I'm really only going to glue this down with underneath this part. So I'm going to put the tree part on first onto my vellum, and then that'll let me know where I can put my glue to attach it to the front of the card. And I just kind of centered this. Now with vellum, you want to be a little bit careful because it doesn't absorb things, and so it takes a bit for this to dry, and it will move around on you a little bit. So I wanted to be able to glue it down to the front of my card a little bit more. So I'm going to take some dimensionals, put on our greeting, and then we can also put glue on the back of that. And for the dimensionals, I am using the mini dimensionals because it's just about the right width for this sentiment piece. You can put 3 or 4, whatever you feel comfortable with. And we'll take the backings off. And I put mine across the bottom here. Oops, don't want that little backing on there. You can put it wherever you think it looks best to your eye. I liked it down here, and that's where I decided to put it. Okay, now as you can see when you turn it over, you have quite a bit of an area here that you can put glue on. And we'll also put a couple of glue dots under here when we're putting our little embellishment on to help hold it down. And then this is going to go right on the front, again with a border. And we will try to push it down as best we can and just be careful. We're going to let it really dry before I do much with the okay. And then we have our little honeybee trinkets, which are super cute. And we will I do have enough available for class, so you'll all get to use one, and it'll help me use up my stock. As a demonstrator, it's not I use a lot of retired stuff, but if you really have an emphasis on selling, of course, you wouldn't want to sell you wouldn't want to demonstrate the retired stuff that people can't get, but I kind of do my own thing in regards to that. So now before I put this little bee on, I'm actually going to take my glue, and I know that I want them kind of up here in the corner, and I'm just going to put a small dab of glue on my card base up here in the corner, and I know that this adhesive will be covered by the little bee. And then we'll take the bee and we will stick him up here. Sorry, I know my fingers are in the way, but stick it up there in the corner. Now, if you want to put a little more glue down here at the bottom, for some reason this didn't stick very well, just take this. Really don't need a lot, it'll hold, but I don't want necessarily want things sticking up in the air. Okay, and you can even, because it doesn't show very much, I'll just put a little dab right there. The embossing on the vellum kind of hides your adhesive. So that is all there is to that card. It's pretty simple. Just doesn't take that much time at all. So here's our card. Here is our envelope that I need to very quickly trim around the edges. Like I said, we've all done this in class. I thought about making a template and seeing if it would be easier to put this on after you, cut it out and then try to put it on, but I'm not sure. I'll play around with it and figure out if that's better or quicker. It's really not hard doing it this way. Okay, so here is the card that I had as a sample. And here's the card that we made today. So I hope you enjoyed this card. We will be making this card in class. My next classes will be on April 28th and 29th. That's a Thursday and Friday. Thursday classes from 6 to 8. Fridays are 10 to 12 and 2 to 4. And I will hopefully get the sign-up invitation out this week so you can register for class. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you all have a very blessed Easter Sunday, that you find some time or to attend church, because this is the day that allows us to call Jesus our Savior and ensures where we will spend eternity. So thank you again for watching. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.